There we go. Figured I'd get a little patriotic with it, so I found an animated GIF of the American flag waving. So
That's fantastic.
there we go. If anyone was wondering whether or not Joystiq was patriotic, there we go. And now I will, as a Canadian having lived in America for 3 years, I will now attempt to sing the national anthem. You ready?
No.
Here we go. Na 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 na. Hey! Is that not it? I'm Canadian. I don't know how things go.
That's okay. So, my country, 'tis of the sweet land of wizardry. I don't.
Ye shall not pass. Gandalf is the best.
It's the best.
I tried to rhyme it. Did not work. Let's play Splinter Cell.
That is such a good GIF. That is such a good GIF.
Is that not the greatest GIF of all time? All
It's
right,
the most patriotic GIF I've ever seen.
I also have my camera on, so people can see me, hopefully. I want to make sure that this is working on my end, too, so if anyone... all my settings should be the same as the last time we were streaming, so you should be able to... People should be able to hear you. And, we'll play some Splinter Cell. So I figured, since you guys were playing all these great games that have people saving America, we'd finish off with another great game where you save America. Even though I'm Canadian.
Sure, but you know it counts.
Mm-hmm. But you know, I actually this game is actually made by Canadians, so really it's like a joint effort. Canadians and Americans trying to save the country together. I don't know what I'm even talking about anymore. Which mission should we play? I'm just gonna pick a random one. Have you played this game?
No, and that's part of what I wanted to talk to you about. Is like you seem to be a Splinter Cell aficionado. Like this is your jam, right?
Oh yeah, I like this franchise a lot. I like this game a lot.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, it seemed like you were really high on Blacklist for a while there. So. Like, how often do you play this? It seems like it's often enough, right?
So my Steam, you know, where it's on Steam, it counts how long you've played a particular game.
Yeah.
It says I played this game for over 100 hours.
Okay.
So...
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. It's crazy.
With how much stuff we wind up doing and how many other games you have to play and review, being able to put 100 hours into a game... is an accomplishment, I think.
I will tell you that, like, it's pretty rare when I review a game that I'll go back and play it again. Because, I mean, I have other things to work on. And I reviewed this game, and I have played this game on all 3 platforms to completion. On PC. Oh, actually, not Wii U, because that version's garbage. But it's like, it's just so janky. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I also have Chaos Theory installed, which I haven't played in years, so if people get bored of this, maybe we can go and look at what I think is still one of the best Splinter Cell games, because it has like one of the best missions where you actually rob a bank, which is pretty interesting. So we maybe can go check that out, but yeah. So
you're saving America, basically, is like the gist of this. Because I am not a Splinter Cell person at all, so I'm very new.
So in the canon of Splinter Cell, let me put my glasses up. So this is the weird thing about this is that Sam Fisher looks and sounds younger than he did in Conviction, so you'd think this is a prequel. This is actually a direct sequel to that game.
Okay.
The reason why they changed actors, so it used to be Michael Ironside, is because they wanted to do performance capture like they do with Uncharted, with like Naughty Dog does with Uncharted. So Michael Ironside, as much as we'd love to see him in a skin-tight toot and tennis balls attached to him, probably could not pull that off. So they got the guy who played. He was in Smallville. He played like Lana Lang's boyfriend in the first season or something. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's back. He plays Sam Fisher in this. He's the voice and the actor in it. But yeah, so this is like the last game was you find out like Sam's daughter is killed in Double Agent. And then in Conviction, you find out that she's actually not really dead because it's a soap opera, and or like every Marvel comic book, and so you have to try to figure out why someone tried to kill your daughter or pretend like your daughter was dead. So
Interesting. Okay.
And then America happens.
And then America
And
happens.
then America happens. Yeah. At any point you need me to start singing the national anthem again, you just let me know. And we'll.
Can it get more patriotic though than stealth-based combat?
No.
I don't think so.
This game is great. I can play this game forever, or until the next Splinter Cell game comes out. Which is like, the thing that bothers me about this franchise is that it's not popular enough. It's not like Watch Dogs for sure, or Assassin's Creed or anything. This game did okay, I'm guessing.
Right.
But not enough for them to announce a new one every year. I mean, this game came out in 2012.
Well, there are other Tom Clancy games too. I mean, we just like there's the Rainbow Six game, and then there's so maybe that's why it's staggered a little.
Maybe. I mean, like if this was selling like Assassin's Creed, there's no question they would just keep pumping these out.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, it's disappointing that it's not as popular as it was. I mean, I interviewed Max, who was the producer, Max Belland, a long time ago. I think it was like when this game just came out, and he said that a lot of people got mad about Conviction because it was so unlike Splinter Cell. And they said that the reason why they had to do that is because as much as people love Chaos Theory, not a lot of people bought that game. It was actually pretty unsuccessful in terms of how well other franchises in Ubisoft were doing. So they had to make some changes. They had to make it so like it would be more accessible, or people would be more excited by that franchise to play it. And the thing that they decided to do was, well, let's just make it more like more of an action-focused game. He basically became Jason Bourne.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I like that game. I think that game's good for what it is. I'm like, if you want a game that's exactly like Splinter Cell or exactly like Chaos Theory, you're gonna hate that game. Like Luddy and me have epic battles over whether or not that game is horrible. I think that game is great, and he really dislikes it. I think at this point though, he just does it because he knows it bothers me when when I get super mad about it.
You've got plenty of games you can bring up to get under his skin that he thinks are good. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, no, Luddy has notoriously horrible taste in video games.
And it's so great though because he enunciates how good they are when they're not sometimes.
Right. Also, it's great because he's not here to defend himself.
Yep,
so,
exactly. That's why I'm able to say this.
And he's our boss. We'll just talk junk about him. No one's hearing this though, right? We're not recording
no,
this.
Probably not.
All right.
Well, we are live, but you know, whatever.
All right, whatever. It's okay. The internet won't tell anyone. They're on our side. Yeah. So I mean, I really like this franchise. I wish it did better. I'm hoping that this one did, well enough for them to keep going.
It seemed popular enough, both I mean, I don't know commercially how it did, but I know that it seemed like there was a good critical response to it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
I don't think you were the only one. I don't think you were on an island with this one.
No, I mean, it was reviewed fairly well, I think. I wonder if I'm going to try to do something.
Because I remember when this was more or less being announced and kind of being promoted and a lot of the trailers and stuff that came about, there was a lot made about the executions and the kind of quick sort of stealthy assassinations and stuff that you could pull off. I was always intrigued by that.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff is really cool. I remember when this game was first shown off, they had that scene where it was like someone was getting tortured.
Yes.
And people really kind of freaked out about it. And I think it was like the political climate at the time, because Conviction had actual torture in it that they were just bringing that back. Because that was in Conviction, where you can like grab a guy and bring him around the world and like stab him in the arm so he's like sticks to a pickup truck at one point. Like, it gets gross. But I guess the political climate at the time was just like, no, we need to not do this anymore. So they took the actual, I mean, you get to choose whether or not people live or die, but you don't actually do the torturing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, I think, to avoid that subject matter given what the game is about and what the series is about, I mean, you're gonna have to address certain things like that at some point, right? Like torturing and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's unrealistic to expect that that certain things aren't going to be depicted at all at some point, you know? I don't know. I waver on that.
Hey, but
it's always a good way to
man?
do things, though.
But you know what, man? As long as we remember the most important thing. America.
America! That's exactly right.
So what else was everyone playing? I wanted to watch the rest of the stream, but I missed.
Oh man, I know that during our NES extravaganza, our NES games collection from Richard, he played a bunch of different things. He had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He had Bayou Billy. He had a little Captain Skyhawk.
Bayou Billy is the worst game ever.
It's so bad.
It's so terrible.
It's just so bad. He started it off though by beating Contra.
Really?
I think he likes to rub it in sometimes. Like
he's like,
Richard's
I'm gonna casually beat this video game.
He's so good at video games, and he likes to show off a little. But when he picks ones, like what I want to do is I want to get Richard on a stream where we send him games that he hasn't played or something to show that it's all a facade. You know, because I think he cherry picks games that he knows he's good at.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, like I could. At this point, when I play this game, I kind of just try new things, and sometimes I end up failing miserably. But I could play this game basically blindfolded at this point.
Yeah.
Because
I was going to say, it seems like you pretty
so
much have your
often.
timing on everything down perfectly.
Yeah, like I know exactly where the cards are going to be at certain points.
Oh, jeez.
It's pretty gross, man. It's pretty gross. I just love this franchise.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's good to have games
Gear.
like that, though. I think it's good to have ones that you have this sense of mastery over.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it reminds me of Metal Gear. Like, I could play Metal Gear games just about the same way because I really like that kind of game. I like the ability to, when stealth is baked into the actual, you know, how the game works, and it works well, it's great. When it's, you know, when you're playing a third-person action game and it just happens to be some stealth section in it, that's terrible. I hate that
typically,
stuff.
Yeah,
like,
typically it's not done well.
Oh, gosh, what the heck? That was new. Sometimes the guards still surprise me, and they do things that I do not expect. But yeah, no, are there any games like that for you? Like things that you could just keep playing forever?
Well, I mean, I had my moments with the Madden series, where I mean, it was really just like second nature. I don't know, did you ever play NHL enough that you felt like you were like an expert at it? Like you could just go online and, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but that's more typical of sports games than anything else. Whereas when you have something that has either a story component or shooter or something like that, there's a little bit more. It feels it's different kind of mastery. I don't know what else. I feel like there's got to be something else that I'm good at, but I'm just like it's not a shooter. I'm notoriously bad at shooters. I'm really, really not good at like first-person shooters in particular. It's pretty bad.
Well, I mean, did you play anything like Counter-Strike back in the day or anything like that?
No, can't say I did.
Like, what
honestly.
was the multiplayer game that you sort of brought you into multiplayer?
Well, I mean, it depends on how far back you want to go. I mean, I guess the closest being GoldenEye. But I feel like that's like a given for everyone. Like, that's almost a rite of passage. You know what I mean?
Sure. I actually hate GoldenEye. It's like...
Really?
I really dislike GoldenEye.
It doesn't... That's one of those games that has a lot of love that does not age well. You know? And no one really wants to admit... Not necessarily with Gold... I do have a lot of friends that don't want to admit that GoldenEye doesn't age well. But, like, you get that with some games, and I think that's definitely one of them. I can understand that. It's, you know, it's... I think it was good at the time.
I think that's it, because I, at the time, couldn't afford to buy an N64. So I never really had that, you know, eureka moment with GoldenEye when it came out. So I played it years later, and I just was like, I didn't get why people liked it so much. So maybe that's it, like, because that would probably explain, because people have such an affinity for it.
They do.
Like, when I was in college, no one was playing GoldenEye. Everyone was playing Counter-Strike. So...
And, I mean, Counter-Strike was always a PC game, right?
Yeah, I mean, they tried to bring it to console, but...
I thought they did. But, I mean, that's just it, is I never really had... That's always been one of my downfalls, is I've never really had a true gaming PC. That's something that I've always kind of missed out on. So there's always, like, games along those lines that I never really got to play, like Quake and stuff like that, which never, I probably could have, knowing the computers that I had access to, but I just never gave him a fair shot. I was more of a console player, traditionally. N64 and stuff like that, like Super Smash Brothers, and along those lines.
I never played. See that I feel like I missed out on a lot of that stuff because I really didn't play any N64 games.
Right, and we were talking about that earlier too. I know that Alexander was talking about that with he was a Sega Master System kid, bless his heart, and he missed out on a lot of Nintendo games then as a result. And you have friends that maybe have a console that you'd hang out with or something, and then you play theirs. But I don't think that. It's interesting to talk to different people that did have something or didn't have something, and just how that can shape the sorts of things you do enjoy later on too. Yeah.
But maybe that's why I still love playing NHL constantly. I remember that was one of the... Because when I grew up, we didn't really have all that much, but whenever I had the opportunity to buy games, I always ended up buying every NHL game that came out, which in hindsight seems really silly as a kid. Like,
sure,
why would you... If you have one opportunity to buy one game, why would you buy essentially the same game again and again and again? So yeah, that's, to me, I found that was pretty funny. Did you find that with Madden? Did you always buy the newest Madden when you were growing up?
It wasn't always Madden for me. It really depended on the system. Like, once I hit PlayStation, I was buying NFL Game Day. And I remember being hooked on 98 for a long time. So I missed 99, but then I got like 2000 and stuff. So I wasn't an every year kind of sports game player, but there is something to, this game's better, like the improvements, the general gameplay stuff and the new modes, and and then having that sense of like this is a new team with like a different roster and all that stuff, and feeling like it's up to date is something like that's obviously different nowadays. Now that we actually have downloadable roster updates, that wasn't always the case. So I think it was easier for people to justify more, buying the new game and feeling like you're current and stuff. I've always been kind of fascinated by that too, because just like times have changed now, where the expectations I think are a lot different.
Right.
But we're gonna go away for 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Actually, I'm gonna click this button here quick.
I'm gonna click this button real quick and bring back this animated GIF. And I looked it up while we were playing. While I was playing, I can do two things at once, and I looked up the national anthem, so I'll start singing it now. We are the champions, my friend. No,
that is like the national anthem of D2 the Mighty Ducks at the end credits. I need to do something with that URL because I have it.
What URL?
D2themightyducks.com. I own that.
Why did you buy that?
Why
actually,
the
question is why not, actually?
Because I discovered that it exists. And as of now, I think it's just a bare like Tumblr page saying, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I need to do something with it, I figured what it would be is I would maybe just put a video up of Coach Bombay saying something like, I know this guy's move. Triple deke, glove side. What if he goes stick? He's fancy. He'll go glove.
You should make some sort of program that automatically selects a quote from Mighty Ducks. Mm-hmm. And then just post that. That'll be...
I think I'll have to, yeah. I have to do something like that. There's so many good ones. But it's like one of my favorite movies. And so I don't know, I was just sitting on like GoDaddy or something and discovered...
As one does.
As one does on a typical Thursday night, picking out URLs, seeing what's available. Suddenly you discover that D2themightyducks.com is available. You got to take it. You just have to.
That's amazing. I want like one day to just they were going to reboot that franchise and either pay you or sue you.
It's going to be one or the other.
One of two things is going to happen.
I'm going to be a domain squatter. And they'll be like, look, let's be real. We're not giving you any more than $25 for that.
and like Emilio's gonna just hand it to you himself.
Right. They'll send me a box set of 3 movies.
Yeah,
and be like, there
Emilio
you go.
and Pacey are gonna be like, "What are you doing, man?
What are you doing?"
I don't know.
Pacey?
I don't even remember what the guy's actual
Joshua
name is.
Jackson.
All right.
Joshua Jackson. Yep. I don't know. I'd rather see like Guy Germain and Adam Banks show up at my house. I'm just gonna start name dropping Mike Ducks now, just so you're aware.
That's fine.
Man, I love that movie so much. I love sports movies, and this is a thing that I know we've talked about, you and I, about like I love the sports movies that have that weird epic feel to them, even like the Disney ones and stuff. And I feel like we don't have that with sports games as much, but like we're playing Splinter Cell Blacklist, and this is so. I just have such a movie feel from this with the way it's shot, and with like the camera angles and with some of the scenes and like the drama to it. And I wish I had something like that in like for my sports. There just isn't very much of that. It exists here and there, but not very much.
Well, I mean, doesn't I mean, do you mean in terms of like football movies, or I sort of lost what you were
like,
saying?
Well, yeah, but like the video game, sort of like translation of that,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this, because I'm just thinking that like Blacklist right now as you're playing it is very movie-like to me,
Well, I mean, in terms of like, I'm just thinking about sports games that try to do something like that. I know that's not really necessarily what you're saying, but what was that? What was that? God, what was that movie that came out? That game that came out? It was like Blitz the League, but it was like.
Yeah, there was Blitz the League, but there might have been other.
Wasn't there like a sports game that, like a football game, where you were like off? It showed off the field stuff, and like dudes got injured, and it was like an RPG outside of the actual game.
Yeah, Blitz the League. It's Blitz the League. I played that one. I have that one actually. I should stream that sometime.
Is that any good? I mean, that was when
I enjoyed it, and that was one where it doesn't have the NFL license, so they could do a lot more of what they wanted with it. And you actually made decisions on giving your players performance-enhancing drugs as well.
Right, which the NFL would never let you do that.
No, of course not. Oh man,
the NFL got really. I remember when the NFL used to get really mad at Midway when Blitz came out, because there would be after the whistle tackling happening, and they would get so mad, like as if people were implying that is a real thing that happens. It's like, yeah, like guys are constantly trying to kill each other, not like actually, but. It was supposed to be over the top, but they got so bummed out about like their perception. It was like NHL did that for a while with fighting. They didn't want fighting in their games.
Right.
They didn't want to make it seem like that's all people did is fight. It's like, yeah, that's part of the game, though.
That's part of the game, yeah. Which speaking of, like, yeah, fighting in NHL, the new one, that like doesn't that have like a revamped kind of fighting thing? Because you got to play that at E3, didn't you?
Yeah, it's so the new fighting stuff is, it's kind of like last season's. They already kind of revamped it last season. A couple seasons ago, it was first-person fighting, which was just not good at all. It was really stupid. That was like, what are we going to do with all this fight night tech that we spent all this money on?
Right.
Let's just put it in NHL. Like, can we put random fights in our basketball games or football games? Like, no, that doesn't really work. Canadians like punching each other. Just put it in their hockey thing. So... yeah, it was pretty silly, but they changed it last season to a third-person thing where you actually the weight of the player and their positioning matters and dodging, and you can like jersey guys by grabbing their jersey and putting over their head and stuff.
Nice.
So, yeah, you didn't get to play the NHL game, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't take any time to do that one. I did play the new Madden at E3, but as far as sports stuff goes, it was that and then Pro Evo. I got to play as well. But I don't know. I mean, it's.
How's Madden looking this year? Because I feel like last year didn't really do it for me.
No, I like what I'm seeing so far. Part of it is that the demos they had were multiplayer, and some of the changes that they're making gameplay-wise on the field are more noticeable in the single-player realm, because... especially on defense, because they've got new camera angles and stuff that you can kind of click into. Ones that on defense in particular, actually changes the viewpoint, so it is on your side of the ball while you're on defense, similar to like Road to Glory in the NCAA football series. It's like similar camera angle to that, which changes the way you play the game. I mean, completely. And that part of it I didn't get to see at all, and I actually changed one controller while I was at a station by myself. I changed one controller so that it was computer controlled, so that way I could try and get some single player in and see if it would work.
Right.
And then at that moment, some dude walked up to take the other controller, and I'm like, "Really, guy?" And he's a dude that is like, "Oh, I've never really played Madden before." I'm like, "Really?"
Oh,
so of course I destroyed him and just like get out of
and
here.
then you took a swing at him too. You're like, "You lost so bad that I'm just gonna punch you now."
I was just like, "Get out of here, dude." So, but no, really, I didn't get to do that. But some of it is like they've got a couple new mechanics for tackling, and like on-screen indicators, especially for things like that and for the pass rush. And I jumped the snap perfectly, like with good timing, as a defensive end, and then just barreled in on like third down and destroyed the quarterback, and sacked him. And I mean, that felt good. I'm not good playing as a defensive lineman traditionally, so. The thing is when they introduced these new things, and I had talked, there's an interview I did before E3 about some of the new features. And anytime they introduce stuff like this, like I was asking them about it, it was Rex Dixon, he's the gameplay director. They have to account for so much because it just seems like the game swings in the other direction. Like suddenly there's some new mechanics for pass rush. Then all of a sudden, pass rush seems so much easier. And then you have to suddenly go back in the other direction and tune to account for better blocking and stuff, and it almost feels artificial at some point, the more that there's this tug of war with balancing issues. And I can already tell that there's probably going to be a little bit of that, and that's always the problem, though, is because it's never solved at launch. It's one of those things where you might not see the right pen your way for like 3 months, depending on what their timeline's like post-launch. But it seems good, I mean, there's some of the stuff with like play call selection, or with play call selection stuff. The windows for that are much bigger and take up like your half of the screen, and it gives you more information about the formations, the schemes, and stuff. So it educates you just a little bit more on the plays that you're selecting and why you should. And those are the sorts of things that once they start addressing things like accessibility. And, helping people sort of learn the game a little bit more, that I think is a step in the right direction, even if, it's not going to be all that perfect on the field,
I will say that I'm really excited. By the way, this is if you haven't played Splinter Cell, surprise, there's the first-person level, and I'm playing the first person right now. Oh, and I died right away. But no, I was... so NHL looks really good, and I know it won like the Game Critics Award for E3.
Right.
But it's not perfect. Like, they added physics for every single player. Oh my, that guy just jumped in the air after I shot him in the head. They added physics for every single player, every element of the player. So like the player, then his equipment underneath, and then his jersey on top of that. And there's physics for all 12 players and the puck. And it used to be where physics would only activate when 2 players were near the puck. Like, it would only be on the puck and 2 players. And the problem is like when you bump into a guy, it's almost like you threw an explosive device on the field. Because like when you brush up against someone, and I swear like it should just show a mushroom cloud, because the guys just fly out of the way like they got hit by a truck. And it's still really pretty janky. And if they don't fix that, it's gonna kind of throw away all the cool stuff they're doing with the game, because that's a big problem. Like, messing up physics that bad is going to be pretty brutal.
And I think that's an issue across the board with their sports games, with EA Sports. It seems like a lot of the games that I play, the collision detection stuff is off by just a little. It's not always horrible. It sometimes is just a little bit. Like with EA Sports UFC, which just came out not that long ago. That game in particular, a lot of the comments people seem to have about it is that you could punch and kick a dude in the head all you want, and sometimes they don't even really move at all. And in real life UFC and MMA, I mean, guys do take punches, and they seem to just sort of stay in it, but you see some sort of blowback, like their head does move, as opposed to some of the stuff in the game where it just doesn't seem like it's enough, and that pulls you away from it feeling realistic, and it feels more like it's an arcade style kind of like just fighting game, and it should have a difference with that, and that's just UFC. It seems like just those collisions aren't always there like perfectly, and it's funny that you say that with NHL because they have a history with that sort of issue. Remember when they actually made the video of the motion capture guy that got pulled all the way out because people were putting so many videos on YouTube of players that were getting checked and just going out into the stands and stuff. And it's hilarious, and I think it's funny because it's part of the sort of culture of the games,
right?
To see that, but it's at the same time, it's just like, come on, it's ridiculous,
It's pretty funny. Like that, I feel like that's going to be a problem in this game too. That they're gonna have some pretty issues with. What about FIFA? You didn't get to play FIFA, did you?
I didn't get to play FIFA, and that's one that but it's been reliably good for the past few years, and I can only imagine what it's going to look like now with one true year into the next gen systems, with Xbox and PS4 and stuff. So I haven't played it yet. I can't wait to. Soma wants to know, is this on Xbox? What are you playing Splinter Cell on? Are you playing it on PC?
This is PC, yeah.
Okay. So this one's on PC, and it looks awesome. But, I mean, have you played Blacklist on PS4 on Xbox One at all?
Oh, no, it's the original it's 360 and...
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, oh, this is old. Yeah, that's right. This has been around.
The physics are messed up. Every time I shoot a guy, they just bounce. Yeah, this has been a couple years, man. So yeah, this is the PC version. I played it when I reviewed it. I reviewed it on PS3 because I think my Xbox debug at that time like stopped working or something. And I also played the multiplayer on the PC and on the 360 when that came out. But I played mostly on PC.
Right.
This mission, though, I forgot how annoying it could be. Because you're not really stealthing now, you're playing as someone else, so you're doing first-person shooter stuff. How about Pro Evo this year?
Evo...
Is that getting better?
It is. It is, but at the... I mean, it looks good, but there was... Again, that was a game where it's always hard to say because it's early, there's time yet before it launches. I don't know how much time, it takes for them to tune certain things up, but I saw a lot of weird collisions with that one too, with you slide into a guy and it seems like I can't remember if this was one though where it was more touchy. I think it might have been kind of more on the touchy side of things, but
touchy-feely, like guys are just hugging each other.
Touchy-feely, guys are just hugging each other. But
like those FIFA gifs.
Yeah, it was. But no, it really, in general, it does look really good. And this is the first game, Pro Evo 2015. This is the first game that's going to be for that series that's going to be on Xbox One and PS4, and it shows. I mean, it's one of the ones where. Similar to FIFA, I would say it's very much on par with FIFA's first sort of transition as well, where the crowds seem very, well varied, and the facial kind of models and everything, that sort of textures and stuff look really good, and the way that the kits and everything, the jerseys and all that mesh around is good. It's just the actual playing the game, I think, is very Pro Evo still, and I played against like the lead producer, and it was a really good game. He beat me 1-0, but it was really close, and it was one of those ones where it still feels like the goals are very exciting in that game, and Pro Evo's done that really well in the past, where it feels like your opportunities are not sparse enough, but they for me they only come around so often because I'm more of a FIFA player than I am Pro Evo, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's in general though, it is a really good game. It just takes it'll take me getting used to again. Kind of switching between the two series is always difficult, but I can tell it is looking really good. It's just a matter of, with this series, it's always going to be a matter of how much do you really care about the number of clubs and the number of teams and authentic players and stuff like that. And for most people, they think that matters a lot, but they still wind up playing with like 3 or 4 different teams. They don't switch it up as much as they probably think they do. And it still looks so good. So, yeah. It's awesome.
I remember when it was still number 1. When I was working at GameStop, I think that was the game. And people would go through the trouble of just renaming all the players themselves because it was just a way better version.
Oh yeah, and I think I think people that them deciding to wait the year instead of launching one last year right away on the next gen systems, waiting that year I think is going to prove to be really good for them.
Yeah, because remember when EA released their first 360 game after that Target video that they released, like this is what the next generation of football games is going to be, and it was garbage. Like they stripped out most of that game for Madden, and NHL of course never came out that year. I remember when I reviewed NHL last season, one of the things I mentioned in it was like I kind of feel like the franchise always sort of gets the short end of the stick.
Right.
Because it's not as popular as FIFA, it's not as popular as Madden in terms of sales, so they never get like they never come out alongside a console. But I feel like that is probably for the best when new consoles come out. But for the longest time, they were rocking the same old, what was it, like the same old broadcast packages.
Yep.
And it's just like it's getting so stale and tired.
It's very noticeable, It's very noticeable.
So now I don't know if maybe we talked about it a little bit, but like the way this is hilarious that we're talking about hockey right now. But
I know.
The thing that is really awesome about this broadcast package this year for the new game is that is that they got Eddie Olczyk and Doc from NBC Sports, and they do the intro for the game. So NBC Sports is the broadcast package now. But the thing that's awesome about it is they didn't put like some digital recreations of these guys so it looks like 3D models. They just got them behind the blue screen, and they're talking about the game.
That's right.
And it actually looks really, really good. It's pretty seamless. It cuts to like a wide angle of the ice, so you don't really get to see up close characters or anything. So. But when it shows the real guys, that it actually is surprisingly really good.
And I think that is really fascinating to me. The decision to go with just them sitting in front of the blue screen. I'm really, really intrigued to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Because I think that could be a direction that they could just go a lot more in general. But
did you play the NHL games on like Super Nintendo and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, not too many of them. I know that I played NHL 94, if you want to go back to that. But that one NES only, or was that one was Super Nintendo, wasn't it?
That was it was Super Nintendo and Genesis. I used to play it on Genesis.
Okay, yeah, because I know that I played that on Super Nintendo. But I mean, when we go back to that, I played a lot more Madden, and I played a lot of NBA Jam on those systems in particular. That was more my thing. Yeah, my jam. I was avoiding it, but I had to.
No, I'm sorry. You can't avoid it. It's America.
Can't not. Yeah, it is America Day. It's so funny. I mean, yeah, we're playing Splinter Cell, but we're on Sports Talk Radio.
Whatever. I mean, this is our let's have fun, do whatever stream, and
it's America Day.
We're the only two people that really watch sports at Joystiq.
I know. So, we don't have this chance.
These are our only opportunities, because if we try to do this on a podcast,
it will not.
This is why we're never on podcasts together anymore.
Exactly. Hold up. We have 30 seconds of patriotism. 30 seconds of silence, of radio silence. We'll be back in a little bit. And for you Twitch Turbo users,
I mean,
boy,
I just turned the GIF back on.
Oh, you did. We've got some special Blades of Glory or Blades of Steel talk for you.
Coming up next.
People are talking Blades of Steel already. Football for the NES. I mean, I love those games then because they were just so simple.
Yeah.
And you know, like it just. I hate saying that they're all too complicated nowadays. I don't think they are. But the more you introduce, the less likely it is that you can make them just pristine. It just doesn't happen now. There's so many more glitches and so many more issues that people have every year with sports games because they are so much more complex because they're, you know, now it's expected. We're trying to get them to be as realistic as we can, you know? And what I hate though is that the idea that in order to then do an arcade style game, and I'm doing air quotes, like an arcade style sports game, there's such an idea of having it be totally over the top that it isn't even fun to play. You know, that there's this point that's being missed there. You know, because people talk about, you know, wanting to see another Mutant League game, and it wasn't that long ago. It was just last year, I think, that I would have to take a look. The original Mutant League creator wants to do that, and he's trying to fund that game, and I don't think the funding went through at all. So he's convinced he's still going to keep making the game, but you know, obviously on a much more limited budget. But people want that sort of thing too. Oh, I'm going to take a look quick because
I think it was pretty.
It was a lot. It was really high, and when it comes to, you know, Kickstarter projects and stuff, it is, you know, it's just not going to go over well most of the time when you're asking too much. It was $750,000.
Yeesh.
Yep.
That's pretty pricey.
For a Mutant Football League, and that was for the football one. And they wound up raising $141,000.
Oh.
So missed it by quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, have they decided to do other, like, avenues of, like, Indiegogo or their own website? Or
yeah, he had said that, you know, part of the issue that sunk it, and we have this was from January, that he led his Kickstarter campaign with mobile, and the backlash to that was just unbelievable, because originally it was planning to go mobile, and that he had said that they were sunk that first day. So that was the first issue, was not, you know, was deciding to say this is a mobile game in addition to other systems, and that's not what people wanted, apparently. But that now really the goal is to just develop on PC, and that they are planning on going back to crowdfunding. But I haven't heard anything as far as funding the game elsewhere. I haven't heard anything about another project yet, but I think that is the original plan. Yeah. I'm intrigued by that. I mean, it is. I think it's the thing that, you know, it's one of those series, both Mutant Hockey, Mutant Football, that, you know, every once in a while someone brings up to me, you know, and they say, oh, it would be cool if, you know, whatever happened to that, it'd be cool if that came back. And it's like, well, it actually almost did. Like, it's, you know, but I don't know if people were on board with maybe the design of it and stuff, because that's the other thing too, is that a lot of these series, you know, we have this nostalgia for them, you know, be it this or be it like the baseball one. I can't remember the name of it now. There was a similar thing for baseball that, you know, it's hard to be like, you know, we're gonna make a new one, and then, you know, say, well, you can't go 100% retro style because you're making a new video game in 2014 or whatever, you know? Like, it's, you know, you tend to sort of modernize it enough for it to make sense, to take use of kind of modern sensibilities and stuff with design. And the problem with that, though, is that it then becomes different from the source material enough that a lot of the people that are looking forward to it might be disappointed. You know, there's this struggle. And I think part of it with Mutant Football League is that I think people were a little disappointed with the style of it too, really? With the way that it looked. And I think that might have been part of the issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember when, I feel like that came out around there was a good while after we were covering a lot of, I mean, you would know the best out of anyone, but when we were covering Kickstarter stuff, where people were getting really burnt out on it.
Oh yeah, they were.
And I feel like it's sort of died down a little bit more because there haven't been a lot of high profile ones, and there hasn't been a lot of coverage, like insane coverage about it. But yeah, I mean that came out at a time where Kickstarter was like right in this moment where everyone was doing a Kickstarter, every new old game was coming back, and it was just I think it was getting to be too much.
Yeah, I think it was like 2012 and last year specifically, where especially I'd say 2013, just like this last year was a lot of Kickstarter burnouts, and I mean when we were looking at sort of the numbers behind it all and how that's changed. I mean, Kickstarter projects themselves they're not totally waning, but they are earning less on average, and they're pulling in smaller numbers, but they're still getting funded. They're not reaching stretch goals like they once were. They're just reaching their moderate goals, and that's the trend we see now. I think the thing for people, part of the reason they're burnt out is a lot of these people have already invested their money in games, and there's a constant concern of whether or not games are going to come around. One of the smart things that Kickstarter did recently was teamed up with Steam to say, here are like 125 or 130 games that are available now on Steam that were funded via Kickstarter. And I think that helps show, hey, these games were funded by you guys, and here they are. You can play them. Like, they exist, I mean, and there are a couple games that, that I've played that were funded on Kickstarter as well, and it's cool to finally see the finished product. And you don't think about it once it's finally in your hands. Like, I never think about FTL, Faster Than Light, as being a Kickstarter game.
Yeah,
it just doesn't cross my mind, and it was, and it's one of my favorite games in the past few years. I love the roguelike style and the strategy aspects of it and everything, but it's one of those ones that wouldn't have necessarily been possible had it not been for the crowdfunding model. And sometimes it's easy, I think, to lose sight of just what people can get out of it, But it's quite a leap to tell someone, hey, give me even $15-20 and you'll get a game in 2 years, and I think the average amount of time that it takes before people see it is at least a year and a half, and that's part of the problem, is that now if people want to do Kickstarter, they have to have some seed funding to start so they can get enough of a product going before they even start their campaign. And that just isn't really all that feasible, too. Otherwise, why would you even bother doing the funding thing,
Do you have like a specific Kickstarter game that has already come out that you actually really enjoy?
Well, I mean, FTL is one. Lately, there's one that I've been playing that I want to do a write-up on, and it's at this point, it's unfortunately very controversial. It just came out, and it's called Monsters Ate My Birthday Cake, because there was an accusation from an artist that its maps had artwork that was stolen. That from like a game that this artist had made and stuff. So I mean, but the game itself, it's like totally different as far as the game goes, and it makes me feel conflicted to the umpteenth degree, because you don't want to necessarily give a lot of support behind a game that has been accused of something like that. There are other ones though. I'm pulling up some other ones that have been funded.
Well, I like Shadowrun. That was probably my favorite one.
Yes, Shadowrun's a really good one.
Shadowrun was fantastic. Gosh. FTL was really good. Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy is also one. That's and that's just it. It's once you realize some of these games like were funded on Kickstarter, it's like, what? Like, yeah. You don't even think about it, really, because it's just like any other game that's going to be on Steam or on, on
Shovel
PS4.
Knight just came out, right? That was Kickstarter.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, it was.
I haven't played multiplayer on this build. And when I got this game, when I played all the multiplayer for review, it was on console. I wonder if anyone's even still playing this game online. Because I'm going to sit in the lobby here for a second. Oh, there's one player joining, too. I'm level 1, so I'm gonna die immediately. Have you seen the multiplayer
Nice.
for Splinter Cell? Have you ever played Splinter Cell multiplayer?
Nope. I am very much a newbie at Splinter Cell.
So it's Splinter Cell, like Spies versus Mercs Classic mode is 2v2, and it's 2 guys in third person as the spies and 2 guys in first person as mercenaries, and you have to hunt the spies down. So hopefully we can get a game going here, and I don't know if we're the spies or for the mercs. And basically, the spies are trying to infiltrate an area and download data from a computer. Oh, so I'm a mercenary in this match, so I'll just. So yeah, and then our job is to try to stop the spies from completing their goals. You know, because America, we're stopping.
Well, of course, yeah. Snipe Hockey says Broken Age was a great Kickstarter, plus it gave backers a great insight into Double Fine. Yeah, Broken Age is a good one. There's a game I actually started playing yesterday. It's in early access now, and I brought it up in one of the streams earlier today. But Sunless Sea by Fail Better Games is pretty good. It's pretty good. I really like that one, and it's a interesting sort of narrative focused roguelike, I think, but it's odd, and it's got a very high creep factor to it. You know, like it's because it's set in the same universe as Fallen London by the same developer, in which London basically is underground and like it's a naval sort of thing. So like it's all, you know, big creatures, like you fight giant crabs and stuff like that while you sail around and stuff. It's really interesting, and that was another one that was Kickstarter that was funded in October. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool opportunities on there that I'm a fan of. You know, I mean, I'm a fan of the platform in general, but
Are you a fan of video games, Mike?
I'm a fan of video games.
Like video games?
I play some. I want to play Blacklist now. Watching you play this and the multiplayer stuff, I'm really intrigued by.
I'm gonna drop proximity mine and see if I can kill one of these guys. Nice, we just killed them all. Yeah, so this mode is so good. This was introduced in probably, I was gonna say the weakest Splinter Cell game, but that's actually probably not accurate. Gosh, they just got here already. I got him. Yeah, so no, it was Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, which was made by Ubisoft Shanghai. Like the first Splinter Cell was such a big hit right away that they started making a new one like almost immediately, and Shanghai started making the second game, and they introduced Spies vs. Mercs multiplayer.
Nice.
And that multiplayer is awesome, and I'm gonna try to find this hacker. I have no idea where he is.
I love the setup for this multiplayer. I like it a lot.
Oh, where is he?
I love team-based ones. If I ever play online, I prefer the team-based multiplayer. I feel lost otherwise sometimes. I don't know. I'm weird like that, but I mean,
He just jumped on top of me and killed me.
like the multiplayer I enjoyed the most, probably, and not maybe the most, but a lot in the last few years was Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. I like cooperative style.
Man, I really dislike Mass Effect 3's multiplayer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Like, if there's a strong multiplayer component to the next game, which there's bound to be, I am going to be all over that. But I mean, I'm also more of a fan of that series, quite a bit.
Sorry, I'm getting all quiet because the guy's like right around this corner.
Yeah, well, you have to stay quiet, otherwise they'll hear you.
Oh!
Stick it around.
Hurry!
One terminal down. Hold the line on the remaining 2.
Damn it. They got past us. They got us! Alright, yeah, no, dude, this multiplayer is awesome. It's sad that, like, people are not playing this constantly, and that bums me out.
Yeah.
This multiplayer is awesome. I would like to say that Ubisoft, they get a lot of crap for always shoveling out the same kinds of games all the time. Oh, I just died. But their multiplayer stuff is always great. The Assassin's Creed multiplayer where you hide in crowds and stuff, that stuff is awesome. Splinter Cell, Spies vs. Mercs stuff that started in Pandora Tomorrow, this stuff is great too. Watch Dogs has some okay things, but I noticed that most people don't like Most people just hide in the bushes.
Really?
So, I mean, that's a tactic. I'm not going to complain about it, but it's not as fun as like if you were hiding in plain sight, which is sort of what I thought, you know, they were trying to get people to do. Like you hide in plain sight while people are looking for you, and that generally is not what happens. People just like hide in bushes now, which is kind of sad.
Well, hey, it's 6 o'clock somewhere.
Oh gosh.
Probably the East Coast.
Let's try to get to this next round just so people can see the spy stuff. And
yes,
then we'll,
let's do that.
And then we'll try to get out of this so we can go and enjoy America and freedom.
Right now, you have to fight for that freedom for us, though.
I'm trying so hard to fight for that freedom, man, but I can't. Freedom is eluding me. Where are all the freedom people?
No, you weren't kidding about nobody playing this game.
No, it's just 2 versus 2. That's why.
Yeah.
It's but like the spies are clearly not trying to come out and attack us because that would probably be the worst tactic ever.
Right.
Although I usually just like
Weapons free. Defend the terminals.
I usually just run right toward people. Oh, see, I just got a kill with my mine because the guy tried to hack that area.
Nice.
And he is behind. Oh, I saw you! I was shooting you! How did you got me? Alright. Never mind. I thought I was saving America, but apparently not.
This is why we don't put America in the hands of Canadians.
Hey, man.
We had to have an overarching lesson here on our full day of streams. I'm amazed that we did this. Like this whole day. It's crazy, but we'll be back next Tuesday.
Hey, any excuse I get to play this game is totally cool with me.
Right. I mean, I should have known when you were like, oh, like whenever they're done, let me know because I want to do a stream. Oh, what do you want to stream? Oh, of course.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Xav, what is it? Where is he?
Well, hey, that's good. We're gonna close things out then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be back next Tuesday. I don't know what's on the schedule. I should probably take a quick look to see if Anthony gave us a bit of a hint as to what we can plan for joystick streams next Tuesday. It looks like we're going to be playing some Guacamelee.
Yes, on Tuesday.
Guacamelee's on Tuesday, and then we're going to be playing The Long Dark on Thursday.
Speaking of Kickstarter games, that's a Kickstarter thing.
And it's going to be exciting, and I think that one is more of a spookier game. Guacamelee obviously is not, and you know, I know that Anthony has plans coming up to do some freaky, scary games. I don't know when he's planning that. He wants to do some horror stuff. We're going to have. He had mentioned it earlier, but we're actually going to have, I think, a week where we're streaming every day coming up in July.
I think it's next week. I think
is it next week?
Next week, yeah.
If that's the case, it's not on our calendar here, but I do know for sure that we've got Guacamelee on Tuesday and The Long Dark Thursday. We're going to have so much more. We do our streams at 2 p.m. Eastern. I think 2 p.m., is it?
No, it's 4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern. I got to change my calendar thing. For some reason, it says 1. I'm way off.
Well, it's 1
Samsonite. Way off.
What? Oh God, that reference almost eluded me, and I'm so glad that I went back to it. That was fantastic.
But we're gonna have so many games, yes, and we do this at 4 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, we got that. The podcast is this week. I hope everybody has safe travels if you are traveling for the 4th of July tomorrow. May all the brats and burgers on the grill come your way. And may all the fireworks be avoiding your general area, but just close enough that you can observe and enjoy them.
I know that you probably want to get out of here because for you it's late, but for me, I'm going to play out this round just so people could see the spy stuff, and then... oh, wait, there it is. So I will say goodbye to you, and I'll let people watch the rest of this round so they can see the spy stuff if they haven't had a chance to play this game yet.
There you go. Awesome.
So thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Xav. Thanks for
everyone else
doing
can
the
stick
stream.
around. No problem.
Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Later.
Bye, Mike. All right, so we're going to stick around just for a little bit so I can play the rest of this round and people can check out the spy side of
Terminal B
things.
is under attack.
So if you want to stick around, you're welcome to. Thanks a lot for watching our stream. We've been streaming all day, so if you haven't already subscribed on Twitch, please do that. It's twitch.tv/joystiq. And subscribe to our YouTube where all of our archives are. It's youtube.com/joystiq as well. I'm going to try to keep a look at the chat and the stream at the same time. So if you have any questions or anything, hopefully I can catch that in time.
We have extra time. Get it done.
What? Try to kill this guy before time runs out.
Somebody take the shot. Terminal's halfway breached.
Where is he? We're so close! Got him!
We're about to lose our data.
Wait, oh no, did the other guy spawn in already? Jeez. Ah! Damn it! I saw him right at the end! Have I played Sniper Elite 3 yet? Yeah, I have. I actually was working on a review that'll probably come next week because I was waiting for the multiplayer stuff to work. The pre-release stuff that I had wasn't working properly. So look for that probably next week. I'm not sure. Long story short is I wasn't a huge fan. I liked Sniper Elite 2 a lot. But Sniper Elite 3, I think, introduces some stuff that I am not a big fan of.
Find and hack the data terminals in the AO. Use of deadly force is approved.
It has this like sound system where you need to really like manage any sound that comes out of your weapons. So if you are, for example, trying to snipe some guys, if you take 3 shots, they basically know where you are at all times, which is kind of frustrating. So that is my thought on that. So I'm going to be really... Oh, I'm trying to figure out where he is! Nice. Alright, my partner got him. Whew. I like to do this in the dark because then you can see where their torches are, where their flashlights are. I have my EMP grenade too, and my flashbang, so if things get really hairy. Oh god, I forgot that there's a ladder there.
Get each other's back out there.
Oh, we gotta get... Oh, come on, respawn!
All terminals reading active. Hacking protocol is go.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do at all. So what'd you miss? We streamed a bunch of games. What's up, Captain Junkie? How you doing? From Kitchener, nice. Oh, I thought that guy was... For a second, I thought there was teabagging happening right there. God, we played so many games today. We played Broforce. We played a bunch of NES stuff. We played...
We are on Station C now.
Oh gosh, we have to... Can't have two terminals at once, so I gotta go to Station C.
Your hack is 50% complete.
Where'd that guy go? Oh, there's one guy downstairs. He's gonna come up here shortly. Close.
They killed the hack. I'm seeing vulnerable terminals in the AO. Go to work.
Damn it. Go, 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 go. Ugh. Punk. Alright. Sorry, it's hilarious that I'm just like super quiet and like really thinking hard. Oh god!
They set our hack down.
So close there! So if you haven't played this, this is the multiplayer, it's Spies versus Mercs. This is classic. So it's really dark, there's only 2 versus 2. There's a Blacklist mode, which is 4 versus 4, and the environments have like way more light in them.
They're online and ready for hacking.
Oh man, my partner is not giving me any help here. God, run! I was trying to throw an EMP, but I threw a flashbang instead. What's the best jumping on point? Story-wise, I mean, it's all. There's some reference to Conviction in this game, but you don't really need to know too much. I would say if you want to just have fun, this is probably one of my favorite ones. There is still, I think, the best mission in any Splinter Cell game is the bank heist in. Woo. Go, run, 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 run. Oh my god, what's happening right now? Man, where's my partner? What is even happening? Where is he? I'm at 13 and 9 here with the kills. Yeah, so your best jumping off point for story, I mean, this would be fine. The narrative and Conviction sort of bleeds into this story. Conviction's more of an action game, not too stealthy. This is a good combo of all of the elements that made Conviction really good, and this one really good. Whew, well, at least I killed one of them. Hopefully my teammate can stay alive long enough. After this round is up, I will probably call this stream. I just wanted to show people both sides of it. If they haven't had an opportunity to play this game yet, which you should. I think this game was like super dirt cheap during the Steam sale too, so you probably should have purchased this game already.
Data decryption 50% finished.
Got him! Oh, keep running. Beautiful. Love everything about it. Oh, run! Up. Oh, man, that was so close.
Data is resolving. You're almost there. You have 1 minute to turn this around. That'll get the ball rolling. 2 more terminals.
Oh, no, he got me. That was close, though. I almost had them both.
Time to do your job. Hack all active terminals in the area.
Oh, we're not going to get this, though. 35 seconons. I was just trying to keep
30 seconds.
them
You've got
occupied
30
for a
seconds.
while. There's no way we're going to get all 3 of these terminals now.
We are connected to Terminal C. Hack underway. Ten seconds remaining.
Crap.
Finish the hack and we're clear.
Oh, what is he doing? Did he just throw a grenade at his feet? No, don't run toward him! Oh, gosh.
Hack
Bad.
stopped. That's on you guys. Hack in progress. Extraction on hold.
Oh, man, I only have 9 seconds. Oh, there's no way I'm gonna get this.
Terminals are live. Go get the data.
Well, that's gonna do it. Let's
Mission
bring this
failure
bad boy
confirmed.
back up.
Better luck next time.
Thanks everyone for watching our stream. Remember to follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/joystiq. Also, follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/joystiq, facebook.com/joystiq, and of course on twitter.com/joystiq. You see a pattern emerging with our URLs now. Thanks for watching our all-day stream for this Joystiq Independence Day Jubilee. Really appreciate your time and your yes, America, as Chet said. That's why I put the GIF back up. Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot, everyone, and we'll see you on Thursday. No, scratch that. On Tuesday, where Anthony and some other people at Joystiq are going to be playing Guacamelee. And on Thursday of next week, I believe we're going to be streaming The Long Dark. So keep a lock to this page, joystiq.com/Twitch. We have our chat channel in there. We have our stream in there. And this chat is open all the time too, which is weird. But, you know, join us and hopefully we'll see you next time here on Joystiq. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye!